If you woke up this July, checked your bank account, and felt your stomach drop because your pension deposit was suddenly lighter, you are not alone. You didn't do anything wrong, you didn't break any rules, but the system just reached into your pocket and penalized you anyway. This is happening to thousands of seniors right now. I am going to walk you through exactly why your guaranteed income supplement just got slashed, the specific lever you need to pull to get that money reinstated, and the quiet hidden benefits you are legally owed but the government is perfectly happy to keep. By the time we are done here, you will know exactly how this machine works and the exact steps you need to take to protect your income. My name is Jake Morrison. I spent over 15 years working deep inside the retirement and tax benefits bureaucracy. I sat at those desks, I looked at those screens, and I watched smart, hard-working people lose out on their own money every single month simply because they didn't know the obscure rules of a game they never asked to play. I don't work for them anymore. I work for you. I have nothing to sell you. There is no ebook, there is no premium course, and there is no financial product waiting at the end of this video. I just want you to keep the money you spent a lifetime earning. If you believe seniors deserve straight answers without the corporate spin and the bureaucratic double talk, hit the subscribe button right now. We are building a community of people who refuse to leave their money on the table, and your support helps me keep pulling the curtain back on this system. Let us start with the crisis right in front of you, the devastating July rule that just attacked your guaranteed income supplement. Every single July, your GIS is recalculated. The government does not look at what you are earning right now. They look backwards at the tax return you filed in the spring for the previous year. If you were even a little bit late filing those taxes, the automatic system simply stops your payment. It assumes you vanished and it cuts you off. But even worse is the income trap. If you had a slight bump in your income last year, maybe you took a small one-time withdrawal from your RRSP to fix a leaking roof, or you sold a modest asset, or you worked a few extra hours, the system sees that temporary spike and permanently slashes your GIS for the next 12 months. The catch is that the government treats a one-time emergency expense as if you are suddenly wealthy. But you do not have to accept this. If your income this year has dropped back down to its normal, lower level, you can formally request that your GIS be calculated on your current estimated income, not last year's artificial spike. You have to submit a specific form for an income estimate to Service Canada. They will not offer it to you. You have to demand it. Now look at the age amount tax credit. If you were born before 1961, you are fundamentally entitled to this federal credit simply for surviving to the age of 65. It is designed to reduce the tax you owe, allowing you to keep more of your pension in your own pocket. The catch here is the income cliff. As your net income edges up, they start clawing this credit back, quietly erasing it behind the scenes. And if you do not actively claim it on your tax return, it is gone. The tax software sometimes misses it if you aren't paying attention to the specific line items. Always verify your notice of assessment to ensure the age amount was applied, because nobody at the revenue agency is going to tap you on the shoulder and remind you to take it. Then there is the medical expense tax credit, which is heavily misunderstood. Most people think this is just for prescription pills and the occasional pair of eyeglasses. It is not. If you are paying out of pocket for a private health insurance plan, those premiums often count as eligible medical expenses. If you had to travel a significant distance for specialized medical care, your travel expenses might count. The catch is the math. You can only claim expenses that exceed a certain percentage of your net income or a fixed threshold, whichever is less. Because of this rule, spouses should almost always pool their medical expenses and have the spouse with the lower net income claim them all. It dramatically lowers the threshold to clear, unlocking money that would otherwise be wasted. But here is the one almost nobody knows about: the disability tax credit. When people hear the word disability, they think of wheelchairs and total incapacitation. The government's definition is different, but they don't go out of their way to explain it. If you have a severe and prolonged impairment that drastically affects your ability to walk, dress yourself, feed yourself, or manage your daily life, which includes severe, debilitating arthritis or serious heart conditions, you might qualify. The catch is massive. You need a doctor to fill out a very specific, lengthy form certifying how your daily living is restricted. Doctors are busy, they often hate paperwork, and they sometimes brush this off. You have to advocate for yourself. If you get approved, this credit is worth thousands of dollars in tax relief. You might be thinking, Jake, this sounds too easy. If this money is legally mine, why doesn't the government just send it to me? Why make me jump through these hoops? Because the system was built for their convenience, not yours. The government is a vault, and silence is how they keep the combination. They require you to raise your hand, fill out the form, and prove you need the money, hoping that the friction of the bureaucracy will make you give up. Do not give up. Let us talk about the Canada Caregiver Credit. If you are supporting a spouse or a common law partner who has a physical or mental impairment, the government owes you recognition for that burden. You are saving the healthcare system an absolute fortune by providing care at home. This credit is designed to give you a tax break. The catch is that the person you are caring for must rely on you for support due to their impairment, and their net income must be below a specific threshold. It is not an automatic grant. It is a non-refundable tax credit, meaning it reduces the tax you owe. If you do not know to check the box and provide the details of your dependent spouse, the system simply assumes everyone is perfectly healthy and charges you full price. Next is the GST/HST credit. This is a tax-free quarterly payment that helps individuals with low and modest incomes offset all or part of the sales taxes they pay. As a senior on a fixed income, you are likely highly eligible for this. But the catch is the most frustrating one of all. You cannot get it unless you file a tax return, even if your income is zero. I have seen seniors who stopped filing taxes because they thought their income was too low to owe anything, and in doing so, they completely cut themselves off from these quarterly lifeline checks. Stay with me, because the next one changes everything. Let's look at the allowance and the allowance for the survivor. These are perhaps the most tragic benefits in the entire system because they are aimed at people aged 60 to 64. If you have a spouse who is older than you and collecting the GIS, or if your spouse has passed away and you are in that narrow window before you turn 65, you might be entitled to this monthly payment. The catch? The moment you turn 65, it stops, and you are expected to transition to old age security and your own GIS. The real tragedy is that because it is meant for people who are not quite 65, seniors often don't even know it exists, and the surviving spouses who need it most miss out during the hardest years of their lives. You have to apply for it. It is never automatic. We also have to look at the Home Accessibility Tax Credit. If you are a senior trying to safely age in your own home, renovations are brutally expensive. If you install grab bars, a walk-in bathtub, or a wheelchair ramp, the government allows you to claim a portion of those expenses. The catch is that the renovation must be permanent and specifically designed to allow you to gain access to or be mobile within your home safely. Routine maintenance does not count. You must keep every single receipt and ensure the contractors are legitimate because the revenue agency loves to scrutinize these claims. As we move deeper into this, the stakes get higher. These are the programs where people leave real, life-altering money on the table. Consider the provincial property tax deferrals and grants. Depending on where you live, your provincial government likely has a program allowing seniors to defer their property taxes entirely or receive a grant to offset the cost. The catch is that the federal government does not advertise provincial programs, and the municipalities often bury the application forms deep on their websites. You are paying property taxes on an income that hasn't grown in years, while the value of your home artificially inflates your tax bill. You must look up your specific provincial senior property tax grant and apply locally. Now we arrive at the big one, the single highest value, most heavily underclaimed item in the entire Canadian retirement landscape. The retroactive disability tax credit claim. If you fight the battle with your doctor, submit the massive form, and finally get approved for the DTC, the paperwork allows your doctor to indicate what year your condition began. If your doctor states your severe mobility restriction started 5, 7, or even 10 years ago, you can request that the revenue agency reassess your tax returns for all of those past years. The catch is that they will fight you on the timeline, and the paperwork for a 10-year reassessment is intimidating. But if you push through, the government must issue you a refund for the extra taxes you paid during those years. We are talking about massive retroactive checks. They won't knock on your door to hand you a check, but they'll absolutely kick it down to collect a debt. You have to be aggressive. There is one master key to this entire kingdom. One single action that unlocks almost every benefit, credit, and supplement I just described. It is the most boring, frustrating piece of paper in your life. Your annual tax return. The T1 is the engine of your retirement. If you do not file it, the guaranteed income supplement stops. The GST checks stop. The climate action incentives disappear, the system freezes you out. Filing your taxes on time, even if you owe absolutely nothing, is the only way to prove you exist to the machine that pays you. It is the master key. You are going to call Service Canada and demand an income estimate form. If your GIS was just slashed, you are going to check your notice of assessment for the age amount. You are going to pool your medical expenses with your spouse. You are going to have a hard conversation with your doctor about the disability tax credit. You are going to claim the caregiver credit if you are carrying that burden. You are going to file your taxes to trigger the GST credit. You are going to look into the survivor allowance if you are under 65. You are going to dig up the receipts for your bathroom safety renovations. You are going to search for your provincial property tax grant, and you are going to push for a retroactive reassessment if your health has been failing for years. This system thrives on your exhaustion. It relies on you being too tired, too confused, or too polite to ask for what is yours. Do not let them win. I need you to think of one senior in your life right now, a neighbor, a sister, a friend from your past who is quietly struggling to pay for groceries this month because